Yo, you know what I want to see? Hold up. Fuck that. Yo, I want to see the 1600 Sedgwick. Sedgwick Avenue. If that's 1520, I want to see 1600. Little bodega. I guess it's their corner store bodega. Yeah?
It's been here forever.
Yeah? Yeah, we went back there. Yeah.
There's no way to actually like party at back there.
Not yet, the community room, but then it's closed.
The community room?
Yeah, that's the community room right there.
Was you there when you first started?
Who the fuck is school? I've been here very long.
I thought this block was more livelier though.
Back in the day.
Back in the day it was more livelier?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, like now, you know.
Yeah.
So when do you think that it like basically started being live? Because believe it or not, this is like a condo. This is like a beautiful. This thing don't look like the hood.
No, it wasn't never a hood.
It wasn't never a hood.
It was never a hood.
Can we put you on camera saying
You know
that?
what I'm saying? Yeah, you can put it. No, it was never a hood. Okay, this was a nice neighborhood. It was family oriented. You know what I mean? Like we all knew each other. You know what I mean? We all knew each other. One of the worst assholes I ever got was from somebody that knew my father that lived in this building. I live in 1600. My father was cool in this building. I said the word damn. They whooped my ass and it took me to my father. I'm thinking my father going whoop their ass for putting their hands on me. No, he whooped my ass on top of that. This was never a hood. This was never a hood. 1600 had carpet. We had
1600 is this way.
It's the next building.
Next building, okay.
Yeah, we had payphones, we had candy machines, 2 soda machines.
Yeah.
We had armed security.
Armed security?
That's
we had armed security.
Armed security.
SPS, the same security.
And both these buildings,
the same security that did security in Co-op City.
Yeah.
I mean, not Co-op, in Starrett City, in Brooklyn.
Right.
The same armed security we had in 1600.
Wow.
This was not it wasn't a hood. We did a lot of bad shit.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a lot of bad shit.
Yeah.
But this wasn't a hood.
Okay, so would you say that's the late 70s?
Yeah.
75, 76, 77, 78?
77, 78. What's going on, baby boy? How you?
78,
all right.
70. What would you say like the first jam with Kool Herc?
The first jam I went to was in like 79 in Cedar Park. Okay? Yeah, we was here around the same time.
Grandmother came here, I was born in 75. My grandmother came here in the spring of 73.
Yo,
Alright, so do you remember Herc starting at that time, or do you remember?
I was little.
Oh, okay.
I remember the parties because my uncle used to bring me, but I was little. I couldn't really tell you. I'm 41 now, but I was little. So you know what I'm saying? Like I remember, but I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you remember the party that was in the actual?
Oh, the first one?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't born yet. That was 70. I think that was like 73. I was like 73, 70, 70.
74.
74. Yeah, I wasn't born yet. My mother was pregnant with me in there.
Okay.
We are doing a documentary?
Yeah, a little video.
That's dope. That's dope.
We got your permission. We putting it like on YouTube.
Where is actually?
You got what's your name?
Right here.
All right.
my real name.
And Cedar Park is down there, like right after the towers. That, but they doing it over right now. Yeah.
Right. Okay, now where's the sign that actually says Herc?
They didn't do it
They didn't do it
They
yet.
didn't do it yet. They did the dedication, but they put the street sign.
Yeah, it's coming. It didn't come yet. This summer is coming. Yeah, they're gonna have a little. You gotta come back. You gotta come back in like August. It'll be here.
Wait. You're saying that.
What?
You know how them crackers do. Okay. Them crackers just say here, and it's gonna be 5 years from now before the signs actually go up. You quote me on that.
5-3. Yes, it was 5.
So y'all definitely had armed guards and all that.
Yeah, they had security. 1600 had the armed guards. They had regular.
Oh, you said armed.
Yeah, they had guns. They had it at 1520, but they had that in 1600.
We had security in
Y'all got terraces like, yeah, we would look at this and say,
It's bricks, right?
conductors and train operators and
People
stuff like that.
people worked. Like the parents had careers. You know what I mean? Whether they worked for the city, whether they worked construction, they were workers. You know what I mean? Like they were just
Building is job.
yeah. They were hard working.
Now,
Yeah, but growing up, you know,
growing up,
our
it was
parents,
live. It was live, yeah.
they were honest. You know,
My
blue
grandmother,
collar.
my grandmother
working
worked at St. Luke's Hospital for 27 years.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
She helped deliver a couple of babies on this block.
Oh yeah?
Now people she helped deliver. Word.
Yeah, it was never a hood.
So you said they redoing Cedar Park now.
I ain't been.
Yeah,
down
they
in years.
doing the construction over now. They doing it over right now.
Where's the nearest train here?
4 train.
How far?
Mount Eden, 176th Street, or you can take the 18
That
bus.
way. Oh, you know it's that way.
Take the 18
That way.
bus to 170.
You take the 18 bus.
You gotta take the bus. You can't walk there?
You can walk there, 15, 20-minute walk.
20-minute walk?
You have to walk up the steps to Undercliff and then up the steps to University.
When people were coming to the parties, how were they
getting there?
However they could get here.
Walk,
Walk, bus,
come down the steps.
and best believe they came.
Yes, they did.
You know, every summer, Grandmaster Kaz, he has the hip hop bus come through here, and the tourists they come out. He have a little speech and talk and take pictures all the time over right here in the summertime. All the summertime. They started already, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, they got tour buses that come
Yeah,
through
tour
here.
buses that come over here.
Chinese and white people get off that bus.
Yep.
And they be taking pictures in front of the building like, yo, I was here.
It's listen, they do all this hip hop shit. They don't give nothing back to this building, nothing back to these kids, nothing at all. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Too much people can't even come in the fucking building. They can't even get off the bus half the time because they're not allowed to. The only time they get off is on the weekend.
The management? Yeah, the new management is whack. The new management is whack.
Management just want publicity. This is bullshit.
Yeah. The new management is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they
Well, y'all always able to
going
have.
He's trying to make it politically correct.
But it's
It's
If
true.
they would have came, if they would have been on a Monday, if y'all would have came Monday or Friday,
At a certain time?
they would have been like, nah, you can't do that. They would have made y'all stop y'all whole shit.
What do you mean? Today's Monday?
Nah, they're not there.
Yeah.
Oh.
They left already. But if you be here about 4 o'clock,
I would have loved to see that.
if you be here 4 o'clock early, they would tell you cannot. They stop you. They will
Stop us from what? Talking out
She
here?
can tell you, but you
And
can
record
do
and
what
all
the
that.
hell you want. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
they each your own and shit. Fuck out of here.
Have y'all always had air conditioners?
Yeah, you gotta pay for it.
But y'all always had them.
Yeah, we always had them. Yeah, always had them. They just did the building over, like 4 years ago. Like 4 years ago, they just did the whole building over, the whole building. That's why you see it look different now. How we not? How we giving the raw deal?
Take that walk, man. Yo,
Yeah, we appreciate it, man.
When is it gonna be? It's gonna be on YouTube? Or
Yeah,
you got an
yeah.
Instagram and all that?
Oh, nah, I ain't on Instagram, but
yo, we
YouTube.
got
Got
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Hey, yeah, I'm on my block. I'm outside.
All right, y'all have a good one, man.
Enjoy, man. Enjoy.
Hip-hop begins in immense poverty. Hip-hop begins small, very small, amongst very, very poor people.
Now, 52, the first building there is a high-rise building, has terraces. We had lobby security there, you know, soda machines, all that stuff was going on back then. And only way you knew about Sedgwick if you knew somebody that lived there.
So what you think, Paige?
Yo, just the part of hearing that they had ACs back when the building started lets you know that this was a rich building. Okay, hip hop culture, hip hop anything didn't come from a rich. We were scrambling to do things. We were scrambling. This is exactly what happens. Kids come from private school.
It's a parking lot. Go ahead.
The kids come from private school and want to do the stuff that the kids in the hoods do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So basically, that's letting you know right there. It didn't start here. You could not have started here because hip hop did not start from rich anything.
Ready to count down 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Shout out to Sedgwick Avenue. You know, last year they had the HIPHOP 50 there, and they put on a big event on the block, a block party or a HIPHOP jam on the block. The thing is, you know, they have a well-known celebrity, a worldwide celebrity, helping them put it on, and that's KRS-One. From my understanding, KRS-One is, you know, had a big part putting on HIPHOP 50 on that block. I had the pleasure to meet the brother Jerry D, DJ Jerry D.
They call me DJ Jerry D. I'm from the west side.
Jerry D, from my understanding, is a longtime tenant of Sedgwick Avenue. He says his family goes back to the days of Kool Herc in 1973. Jerry D is one of the people who put HIPHOP 50 on Sedgwick Avenue. You know, according to Jerry D, he says that was his original idea, that corporate sponsors or whoever kind of stole or took his idea and they put it on the Yankee Stadium.
Did you have anything to do with HIPHOP 50 last year?
Yes, me and KRS-One was the team that put that together.
Oh, yeah?
I was the one that originally came up with the idea to do a concert in Yankee Stadium. The corporate people stole that idea from me and did it their way. They had West Coast rappers from Lil Wayne and decided to fill those seats. Me and KRS-One was pissed about that because I went to him to do the Yankee Stadium thing. Him and Swizz Beatz dad and so on. D&Y. D&Y was one to tell me, yo, corporate people took it, and they doing their thing. All right. Ticket was like $5,000 to be on the lawn and all that. Okay, hip-hop shouldn't be, you shouldn't be charging nobody for the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, period. Me and Kessler was on the same page with that. So I say, yo, let's do it on the block. Let's do it on 1520. Put the stage out here. Let's close the block off. And we succeeded in that. In the last-minute decisions, we did that. Kessler called all his hip-hop friends, the Public Enemy, Fat Joe, everybody to come to perform. While I had the whole thing managed out to have the big block party on 50th, I advertised it before it happened. I made the flyers for it to be. KRS-One did his part. So me and KRS-One did that 50th free concert where we had 40 vendors out there giving out food, water, drinks, Adidas giving out sneakers. We had promos, we had all type of advertisement. Oh man, sponsors, it was really nice. The 50th was dope. That was the biggest thing I've done in my life for my neighborhood. And everybody from my neighborhood thanked me and said, you brought it home. Yes, I did. I brought it home in 1520. And thanks for helping KRS-One. He helped me get that up and going, and it turned out good. I was actually the house DJ of that whole concert too as well. Okay. And became the director too, because the director that was there didn't do a good job. So I had to be the one bringing the groups up, getting their DJ to put the flash drive in or get the turntables, whatever. It was all worth it though, because it was something that I made happen.
So congratulations to Sedgwick Avenue for the success of HIPHOP 50. Some people may be under the impression that, there's always been block parties or jams on Sedgwick Avenue. We know that that's a very rare occurrence. But many of us from the Bronx, we know that was a rare occurrence. Many of us, we never heard of any kind of hip-hop events on that block of Sedgwick Avenue. It was interesting to see what would happen this year, 2024.
So the 51 year, this year, was you involved with that at all?
51 year, there wasn't a well-official event for that. What KRS-One did was a walk this way.
By now you might have heard about the HIPHOP51 Walk This Way March for urban health and nonviolent conflict resolution.
What KRS-One did was a walk this way.
Right. Why no event?
I felt it was just a political thing for the Bronx and the violence that was consistently going on, and he rather did that than did a concert, and that's the way it moved. I still did something for HIPHOP 51st Anniversary right here at Crotona Park. I got our legends all together from Coke and Ron.
Was that the one that I came to? That
probably was. For HIPHOP 51st Anniversary right here at Crotona Park. I got our legends all together from Coke and Ron.
Was that the one that I came to? That
probably was. And we had all our legends, Tone, Kool Herc, and Salsa, B.Boys, all the legends out here in the Parkland. We had a good time, and that was my 51st.
But why did you do it here, not Sedgwick?
Because here, I didn't tell nobody now. I didn't get a permit. It was very good open space. I was trying to do an event here prior to that day, and it failed twice because of the weather. We were supposed to do Old Timers Day. It rained, we canceled. The week after, it rained, we canceled. That third week, it was open.
You talking about for Crotona? Yeah, but why you didn't do it on 1520 Sedgwick?
Sedgwick's 1520 is under construction. They have scaffolding going around the building. They have scaffolding in the back of the building. The only place I'd be able to do would be in that park. And to me, that park wasn't big enough.
It was big enough.
And they having regulations going on with 1600 in that park, which has nothing to do with 1520, so we stay out of that. And like I said, I just felt more comfortable here.
What do you mean regulations? Like what?
1600 management. That's their park.
Oh, okay.
We don't just go.
Yeah, because when we were there before, the tenants was telling us about the management was no good.
Yeah, they got political issues that I don't discuss.
They said the management will stop you.
They would have been like, nah, you can't do that. They would have made y'all stop y'all whole shit.
I would have loved to seen that.
If you be here 4 o'clock early, they would tell you cannot. They stop you.
They said the management will stop you.
I don't know. I really can't feed it there. I just know I don't get involved with, the sassy and chitty chatty elderly women and men over something we trying to bring nice to the community. If there are people opposing all, I'll stay away from that. I can take it somewhere else.
Is that what's been like for years? Is 1600 management?
It just like since 1520 been under construction.
Because over the years, we don't really remember jams at 1520 and 16. Quick question. Remember we went to Sedgwick? Sedgwick Avenue.
Yeah.
Do you remember hearing any jams there?
No.
Never, right?
No.
No hip-hop jams.
No hip-hop jams. Like I say, see, this is the whole problem that we're finding out.
All that time you party, you went to Flash and them parties, even Kool Herc parties.
Right.
Did you ever go to Sedgwick Avenue to party?
No, it was not. I'm gonna be honest with you, what we used to do, because we used to think that was like Queens up there, like the suburbs.
Okay.
We didn't look at it like until we start finding out about River Park Towers and all.
But as far as partying on Sedgwick,
nah, I ain't never been partying.
No jams, none of that jams out
listen, we was outside. I'm not trying to keep glorifying. We was outside.
Right.
We was everywhere.
Right.
If Sedgwick was bouncing,
right.
I'm talking about like PAL and all that. You know what I mean? The Executive Playhouse, the Renaissance, the Black Door, the Fever, the 371. I can keep going. If it was anything popping like that, we would have been there.
All these jams across the Bronx I've been witnessing all these years. Sedgwick Avenue, 1520 Sedgwick Avenue. Have y'all ever saw a jam over there?
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. Remember, let's say Herc was doing his thing, 73, 74.
I'm saying after her, during the 80s, 1980s. You ever
on that side like that.
You ever heard about a jam over there?
No. Not in that little room, no.
Or because there's a park right next to it. You ever heard about any jams over there?
Cedar Park.
No, not Cedar Park. I'm talking about that building
No, no.
Next to the building?
What park?
There's a little playground out there.
Well, that's why we don't know, because there's nothing but...
So even Cedar Park, you ever heard anything in the 80s in Cedar
Not
Park?
the 80s.
No? Okay.
70s.
What about
I heard he didn't do that many jams out there
Right,
in Cedar.
right.
Remember, Herc wasn't
Okay.
number one. I ain't gonna take nothing away from him.
Well, I'm saying after Herc, I'm talking about as far as the community, the way y'all picked up for Mario. I'm trying to find out if Sedgwick Avenue ever pick up after Kool Herc and Herc and continue the jam.
Nobody was doing over there.
Right.
I think the closest over there was 82 Park. That's over there off University.
Yeah, because I never heard of anything over there.
It was interesting to see what would happen this year. You know what I'm saying? 2024. 2023 was, Sedgwick's 50th year since, Kool Herc starting his DJ career with Kool Herc. You know what I'm saying? So they celebrated that. But, it was interesting to see what they would do from there. This year, 2024, 2025, 2026. It was interesting to see if Sedgwick will keep it going, because many of us, we know that Sedgwick, we never heard of any hip-hop jams on Sedgwick Avenue. Of course, I'm not trying to say that they wasn't having parties on Sedgwick Avenue. They might have been small parties for the children. You'll hear the brothers with the boombox and the radio out there, or the speakers. But you'll hear the brothers out there with a boombox, the speakers. You'll hear the brothers out there with a radio playing the music. But from my understanding, they're not allowed to put on a hip-hop event, like a major hip-hop event.
They would have been like, nah, you can't do that. They would have made y'all stop y'all whole shit.
But from my understanding, they're not allowed to put on a hip-hop event in that area. It may be a safety precaution, maybe. I don't know. But, maybe to the management is a safety issue. Because on that block, you have major expressways, and then you have them, interconnecting with each other. You got the Cross Bronx Expressway, 95 South, the I-95 going into New Jersey, the George Washington Bridge. You got all these expressways linking into each other right overhead. So maybe it's not safe. Maybe it's a safety issue. See, the thing about 1520 is a very small area as far as hip-hop.
That's what made them go to Cedar Park, because that was too small.
1520 is a very small area as far as hip-hop. It's really not fit for hip-hop, at least the hip-hop jams that we knew.
And we would go to Soundview. Soundview was the projects we would go to. Most of the time, the block parties were in the park. We called them jams.
Back in the Soundview area, we see some real big hip-hop jams over the years.
Even with their gang, okay, you would have peaceful assemblies of crazy large numbers. I couldn't even estimate how many people, because like I said, all of this
uptown, downtown, everywhere. It was everywhere, man.
And what years was this, Pat?
We're talking 73, 74, 75, 76.
Most of the time, the block parties were in the park. We called them jams.
When Kool Herc started throwing them outside jams, from my understanding, it was on Webster or Claremont Village. For those who don't know, in the Bronx, we have Claremont Village, which is like a combination, like 3 or 4 different projects, all in one area, one strip. Claremont Village, you got BUTLER projects, Webster projects.
Blame me.
You couldn't come into projects like Webster if you didn't have to go.
BUTLER projects, Webster projects, MORRISANIA projects, and you have Governor Morris projects, all in one area. From my understanding, that's where Kool Herc was throwing outside jams, big outside jams.
We called them jams.
And from my understanding, a lot of people even thought that Kool Herc was from Webster. You know what I'm saying? Because he was over there so much with the jams and the PAL. From my understanding, people thought that Kool Herc was from Webster, like even Fat Mike.
In the rec room, he did his first
party. The only thing I know knowing Herc from is over there on 3rd Ave by 3rd Avenue.
No, Herc is from Sedgwick Avenue, over there by the Major Deegan.
I didn't know he was from, no.
Like even Fat Mike, he thought Kool Herc was from Webster. And I've heard that a couple of other places where people thought that Kool Herc was from Webster.
Where was Kool Herc from back then, as far as you knew?
I thought Kool Herc was from Claremont.
You thought he was from Claremont?
I thought he was from the 9.
You thought he was from the 9?
Yeah, I never thought. When they told me Kool Herc was from Sedgwick, I said, So what the fuck was he doing on the 9 like that?
And see, this is a good example of low-income communities, low-income neighborhoods getting cheated out our rightful spot in history. You take a place like Webster, from everything I hear, this is where Kool Herc became prominent for them outside jams on Webster, Webster Avenue, Washington Avenue.
The 169th Street and Washington Avenue. That made Kool Herc Copeland rock with the nigga twins like this.
You saying they was strong?
Nothing. Because it was the 9 crew.
He was from Sedgwick, and he came in on the 9, where the 9 crew was, and he got in, and nobody touched him. That's because he had a gun.
Webster Avenue, Washington Avenue, Park Avenue, 3rd Avenue is not even documented really in history as being that spot for Kool Herc.
Most of the time, the block parties were in the park. We call them jams.
So, you know, the way I see it, Webster and all those projects over there, they should share in the glory with 1520 Sedgwick. They should also get a Hip-Hop Boulevard street sign.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know what I'm saying? The way I see it, Webster and Claremont Village should get a Hip-Hop Boulevard sign post on their streets also to acknowledge the history. If this is the place where Kool Herc became prominent for, then let the true history reflect that. You know what I'm saying? This is where Kool Herc became prominent as far as hip-hop, as far as those outside jams.
Claremont Village.
Right, Claremont.
My aunt was the head of the whole projects.
The way I see it, Webster, Claremont Village should also share the glory with 1520 Sedgwick. 1520 is a very small area as far as hip-hop. It's really not fit for hip-hop. It's really not, because it's too small of an area. And see, that's the thing. From my understanding, that block never really had a history of hip-hop jams. You know what I'm saying? But going back to the 1970s, back in the Kool Herc era, you know, it did have some parties there. And from my understanding, Kool Herc may have put on little building parties in that small space right there by Sedgwick. He was putting on little parties where maybe they were selling franks and sodas and...
But as far as the party itself, Herc's mother and father was in there selling hot dogs and soda.
And I was out there scuffing up my jeans and sneakers before cardboards and e-packs, okay? On them grounds that's right by 1600, that park right there. I used to break dance in that park right there for Kool Herc. And it was every weekend. I remember every Saturday, some Sundays, maybe a Friday, Herc or somebody, Black Jack, Cool T, Miss Lee would be out in that park playing music for the kids to break dance. Because like I said, it started as a community thing before he went indoors.
So you said it was other DJs besides Kool Herc?
Oh, yes, it was.
Like who?
I can name DJs from 1600, DJ Blackjack, Ralph, DJ Fudge, DJ Kryptonite.
So from my understanding, Kool Herc was putting on little parties in that little playground area right next to the building. It's one of those things, you know, when I hear Kool Herc and Sasa talk about back in the 1970s, they say...
It was packed.
It was what?
Packed. It was so many people, the police came and told them shut it down because it's too many people.
You know, and that's one way to say it. One way to say it is that 1520 had too many people.
Because now, his crowd was really too big for Sedgwick.
But another way to say it, and probably more accurate way to say it, is that that area around 1520 is too small for hip-hop.
That's what made them go to Cedar Park. Because that was too small.
It's not a lot of space. It's a very small area. It's kind of closed in. 1520 Sedgwick, for those people who may not know, is a very closed in area. And it's interesting because 1520 Sedgwick is right across the street from a major expressway, the major Deegan Expressway. 1520 Sedgwick and Bronxdale have that in common. Both Bronxdale and 1520 Sedgwick are both right across the street from major expressways. But the major difference is that the 1520 Sedgwick area is kind of closed in by the expressway. It's kind of boxed in by the expressway. The way it's constructed is just constructed in a way where it doesn't leave you much space for a hip-hop jam. To put a hip-hop jam on with hundreds of teenagers or young people, you know what I'm saying, roaming freely. It really doesn't leave you too much space for that. But it's interesting because Bronxdale, even though we're right across the street from an expressway, the Brooklyn Expressway, we still have a lot of wide open space where you can put on, you know, major events. It's interesting. Both have expressways near it, but Bronxdale has a lot of free open space where you could put on a large hip-hop jams.
You got it? I got it. Some of us want to know why wasn't no hip-hop event on that block?
On which one?
The Hip Hop 51, the thing, your march y'all had a march?
Oh, that was the war with KRS-One?
Yeah, but why wasn't it something on that block? Like, even in Cedar Park, like, it was nothing. Like,
yeah, no, I can't call that. Like you just said, a lot of things they don't call me to, you know. With, again, that's a whole nother thing, but, you know, I don't get that. I call that the politics of it.
The politics. I'm hearing there's politics with that building, 1600.
Yeah, because
the management will stop you.
Yeah, 15, 20 just as well once it got to another level. You know, to me, Herc saved the building. Hip-hop saved 1520. I give it that with Chuck Schumer and them. He saved 1520.
You know, me thinking back, Coca Rock said something interesting here. He said, you know, Kool Herc and Chuck Schumer and the politicians, they saved 1520. And I remember reading about this, you know, a long time ago, how the tenants of 1520 fought for their building. Congratulations to the tenants of 1520. That was a great victory they had some years back. You know, hopefully some tenants could shed more light on the history going back to the 1970s, really the 1960s, when the building first started in the early 1970s. What was this building considered?
That was a co-op!
When y'all moved in, was those considered co-ops or condominiums or what?
Well, they was just it was private-owned building. It was private-owned building. We have a management company and stuff that runs it, but it's never been a city building.
But as hip-hop grew, the building at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue fell into distress. In 2008, a developer bought the building with plans tenants say to push them out and resell the property. They say critical maintenance was neglected. 1520 eventually went into foreclosure.
One landlord took everything out, didn't put no money back in. So when your landlord do that, that's a slum landlord. So we were scared and were afraid that we was going to be homeless.
But the tenants refused to give up on their home.
We protested, we went to rallies, we had a bus outside to take us there, and we went and we fought.
And then the tenants learned about the building's history and enlisted the help of DJ Herc. Herc and elected officials advocated for the building. Eventually, the city helped finance the sale of the mortgage and its rehabilitation under an agreement that would keep apartments affordable for at least the next 30 years.
We brought this building back to life and returned it to its roots as good, quality, affordable housing in the Bronx.
The nonprofits that now operate the building have set rent starting at about $990 a month for a one-bedroom apartment, with larger units for proportionately more for tenants who meet affordable housing income guidelines, giving residents a comfortable and stable space where they can flourish and possibly create the next new idea, like hip-hop 40 years ago. In the Bronx, Erin Clark, New York 1.
I don't know all the ins and outs, and I don't know all the details of that situation. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe, you know, some of the tenants could explain further in detail the specifics or the details of, you know, what happened with that situation, how 1520 became known as a landmark or birthplace of hip-hop. But just from the outside looking in, it seems like this is how they was able to save their building, by declaring it as some kind of landmark. This may be where, you know, a lot of the confusion starts, as far as, like, you know, 1520 being declared as the only landmark or only birthplace of hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? But see, that accompanied with, you know, KRS-One taking Kool Herc in these meetings is probably how a lot of this confusion starts.
The Temple of Hip Hop held major public and private hip-hop cultural conferences all across the United States, seeking the proper definition, history, and purpose of hip-hop as an actual world culture.
Well, it started for myself.
I call that the politics of it.
The politics. I'm hearing there's politics with that building, 1600.
Yeah, because
the management will stop you.
Yeah, 1520 just as well once it got to another level. You know, to me, Herc saved the building. Hip-hop saved 1520. I give it that with Chuck Schumer and them. He saved 1520.
Okay.
You know, but like I said again, like you asking on the politics, again, man, you know.
So that building over there will stop you. The management, the politics,
Yeah, because
they don't.
now,
Go ahead.
But to me now, everybody want to make money off hip hop.
Hip hop, right?
So they lock it down.
But they never was into hip hop.
Not at all, not at all, man. Nobody. Come on, let's really get real on it. This is why I said I'm not. Like I said, I don't get into the cutting and chopping, but when the clubs was here, you had to have shoes and you had to, you know, be older to get in. Everybody know we created that coming in clubs with the sneakers. And everybody know we created that coming in clubs with the sneakers and all ages. I wore Pumas. People keep saying Adidas, man.
From my understanding, at Kool Herc's early career, 1520 Sedgwick was never a place where it was large block parties and large outside
jams.
You know what I'm saying? If we're going to all be honest, that's Mario's thing. You know what I'm saying? That's Mario's credit. Let Mario get that credit as far as the original hip-hop
jams
in the parks, in the projects. That's Mario's thing.
The crowd used to be so big.
You couldn't see through the park. You could not see through the park.
The whole park was packed.
From Double Park all the way around the corner.
Ever the summertime kicked there, we have our block parties. We would come back here and we would play on this stage back here. This is where everybody would be. Right on the stage right here, you have everybody you could think of out here. Everybody would come from all projects across, from Brooklyn, from Queens, from Manhattan, across town, the Bronx here, uptown, the Bronx, everywhere. Connecticut, they would come right here. With everybody, you could see everybody out here doing the hustle. You know, they got their partners, they're hustling and everything. This was happening.
Say around 84, 85.
84, 85.
Right over here.
Yeah, when did y'all stop?
Well,
like
when
as
you
far
say
as the 80s,
stop,
as far as the 80s and over in this area.
Outside jams around here.
Watch your step.
Yeah, in this area.
I'ma say 89.
89, yeah.
We was running, I could say as early park jams for us, as early as maybe, 79, 80,
Okay.
80 all the way up to 89. Like park jams with the big speakers for us.
Watch your step.
How many times would you say you played right there in front of Sedgwick outside 1520?
Good couple of times. Because like I said at the beginning, you know, he'll bring it out.
What's a good couple? 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, say 5. The
5
max.
times. And how many times would you say you played at Cedar Park?
I played once. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I didn't care for Cedar Park.
Was y'all playing a lot without each other, or most of the time you was there?
Nah, most of the time I was mostly always there.
The park jams, that became synonymous with hip hop beginnings.
Yeah.
Like Shan had that famous line.
Hip hop was set out in the dark. They used to do it out in the park.
Y'all somehow get the credit for that, but y'all really wasn't in the parks that much. It was Mario and them was in parks.
Yeah, no, they stayed in the park. I
Parks
agree.
heavy, right.
Okay, no.
So shouldn't they get that credit as far as the early hip hop park jams?
I agree.
Okay.
Like I said again, I don't take the credit to feel like Herc did everything where guys ain't know. You know what I'm saying? We all really played a role.
But like I say, they may have had small parties on Sedgwick Avenue, 1520, in that small courtyard. From my understanding, they do have DJ Jerry D. Jerry D was saying, like, in the millennium, he started putting on small parties for the children. He been putting on once a year, he been putting on an event for the children and everything like that, and that's great.
It's my 13th annual year of giving back to the building, Labor Day weekend back to school parties that I've been doing. I've been doing a
1520?
1520, a reunion / back to school / youth day. I've been doing it every Labor Day for the last 13, 14 years in the back of that building, giving these kids school supplies, bringing DJ equipment out, having entertainment, from clowns to face painting to big balloon castles to renting ponies for the kids to walk on, breakdance contests, basketball contests, giving away watches, cameras, basketballs, did all that for the building over the years.
Was there anybody else who put
Nobody.
it on?
What I've done, man, and people came back to the building that grew up with Kool Herc, was his age group, so proud of me, like their little brother actually got everybody back together from back in the days with their kids and grandkids to come together for 1520 Day. I played in Florida. I did other places, but I always would come back home and do something for you at least once a year on Labor Day weekend. And I give back school supplies. I've been working with Vanessa Gibson, politician, all that, make sure that building gets, for what it is.
And that's great, you know what I'm saying? That's a great thing, Jerry D putting on small parties for the children, outside parties, People have outside parties all over America. We're talking about those jams.
Most of the time, the block parties were in the park. We call them jams.
Where there's hundreds and hundreds of young people coming in. Sedgwick was never a place for that. From my understanding, the tenants or the management will stop you.
They would have been like, nah, you can't do that. They would have made y'all stop y'all whole shit.
I would have loved to see that.
If you be here 4 o'clock early, they would tell you They stopped you.
Yeah, they got political issues that I don't
They
discuss.
say the management will stop you.
I don't know. I really can't feed it there. I just know I don't get involved with, the sassy and chitty chatty elderly women and men over something we trying to bring nice to the community. If there are people opposing all, I'll stay away from that. I can take it somewhere else.
Is that what's been like for years? Is 1600 management?
It's just like since 1520 been under construction.
Because over the years, we don't really remember jams at 1520 and 1600.
It's a back to school event jams. It's what that is. I've done at least 15 parties in that park, 1520 park every year. For the tenants of the building, I do birthday parties there. I do. We have recitals. We have with people when passed away.
But we talking about hip hop jams, like.
But the thing is this. Sedgwick Avenue was renamed by the politicians, the New York State politicians. It was named Hip Hop Boulevard. So with a name like Hip Hop Boulevard, we would think that hip hop jams was a common thing. Even going forward, we would think that it would be a lot of hip hop jams and hip hop events being put on Hip Hop Boulevard. But from our understanding, everybody I've asked, we never heard of any hip hop events on Sedgwick Avenue up until 2023. They had the registration for the Hip Hop 51, but there was no hip-hop events that whole weekend on Hip-Hop Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're going to be Hip-Hop Boulevard, then many of us, we're going to hold you to that. We're going to expect hip-hop events to be on Hip-Hop Boulevard.
You seem like a cool brother, solid brother. You know what I'm saying? I salute you. But we're going to hold 1520 to that title. If they are indeed the Hip-Hop Boulevard.
You have to come. Well, Hip-Hop Boulevard is not 1520.
What do you mean?
Hip-Hop Boulevard is another organization that put up a Hip Hop Boulevard pole in front of 1520. They not 1520. They I don't want to talk bad about them because they my peoples too. I got love for them too, but they don't do nothing for 1520 as far as donating, as far as doing events, as far as giving back, as far as participating. They just into their company.
It's not the city of New York. It's city of New York to put a.
Well, it's on city property.
Avenue.
It's on city property. It's not. It's a certain amount of feet away from 1520 where it's not even on 1520's property. It's on city property. They got the Central City to put that pole there. A boulevard, as you know, goes a little distance, don't it? That boulevard is at that pole right there.
Right. It's only in front of 1520.
You won't see it at 1600. You won't see it.
Wow.
You can see it just right there. Don't hold Hip Hop Boulevard because it has nothing to do with what 1520's been doing. Hip Hop Boulevard is something different, separate. If you look on their Facebook page, they from the east side of the Bronx or whatever. They just got a pole there.
Was it a corporation or a group or?
Call it. But that pole has nothing to do with 1520. I've done events there. They my peoples. I represent them. I rock with them. I see them other events and all that. But truthfully speaking, they have nothing to do with 1520. They are city thing. Hip Hop Boulevard is city thing. It's not 1520. It's 1520 Sedgwick Avenue. Hip Hop Boulevard is Hip Hop Boulevard.
All right, but it ain't like y'all reject it. Y'all go with it. We Hip Hop Boulevard. We the home of hip hop. We the birth for hip hop, right?
That's who we are.
You said a landmark, right?
Yeah,
as
landmark,
what?
yeah, we are. Yeah.
What's the landmark official title?
1520 Sedgwick Avenue.
The home of hip hop or
the birthplace of hip hop.
Okay, so we're gonna hold you to that.
Hip Hop Boulevard is something else. That's just a city thing. That's the city. They can put, they supposed to put Kool Herc Boulevard, but you have to be deceased out here from the put your name. Anyway, but I got love for Hip Hop Boulevard. They doing it. They business people. They doing their business. I'm not trying to stop their business whatsoever. I supported them and whatever they do, but they are not 1520.
So KRS-One has this meeting inside 1520 Sedgwick, at the beginning of a HIPHOP51 March. And it's great that he had Kool Herc there, but then he had Crazy Legs there. This is a celebration of the beginning of Kool Herc parties. When is the original breakdancers and the B-Boys who was there at 1520 Sedgwick going to get highlighted? When is KRS-One going to highlight Trixie and Sasa and Dancing Doug, the B-Boys that was at Kool Herc parties?
And came back to Sedgwick. I guess just to throw a little fun party, because now his crowd was really too big for Sedgwick. But
when you say Sedgwick, you mean that building or you mean the park?
I'm talking about 1520.
Okay. So
the
it was
recreation room.
It was at 1520. You battled Chubby.
It was in 1520 Sedgwick where I battled Chubby. But mind you, Herc was going other places too, but he decided to come back and give, you know, 1 or 2 little parts.
Okay.
I think for old sakes, you know, just for old sakes.
Okay,
like
old
this
time's
is where
sake,
I started at.
Right.
You know, let me juice it up a little bit.
We call Sedgwick the Valley.
Oh, you call Sedgwick the Valley. Okay.
That's the valley. No man's land, because it was hardly nothing there.
Right.
It was all dark.
Right.
Boats used to, you know, dark there and all that. So we call it the valley.
We still have not seen KRS-One highlight Trixie and Sasa and talk about what Trixie and Sasa brought to the game. The original B-Boys who was at Kool Herc parties have still not been highlighted. You know, put them in a movie or two. Let them rock out for a couple of years straight. Crazy Legs had a 30-year run? Shout out to Crazy Legs. Respect Crazy Legs. But he had a 30 or 40-year run in the mass media. You know, in movies and in TV shows and late night shows and all kinds of stuff.
Featured in the new motion picture Flashdance. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not to be believed. Please welcome 2 members from that group, Crazy Legs and Ken Swift.
Like, we've been hearing about Crazy Legs for the past, 30, 40 years. 35, 40 years, whenever Flashdance came out or whenever he was on late night, you know, shows. And we've been hearing about Crazy Legs for many decades now. We're very familiar with Crazy Legs. But when is KRS-One gonna start talking about Trixie and Sasa and original B-Boys who was at Kool Herc parties? These are the very first B-Boys and breakdancers at Kool Herc parties. And see, this gives like a false impression that Crazy Legs has something to do with the Kool Herc parties at, you know, from 1973, 1974, 1975.
Even back in the early Kool Herc jams, you see Puerto Ricans from the neighborhood.
It's one thing to talk about Kool Herc parties, but the thing that made Kool Herc parties the spot was the B-Boys there. You know, like, how can you highlight 1520 and Kool Herc parties and not highlight the dancers who was there?
Just the best from Smoking Charm would come to Herc. Just the best from, because Herc was the Mecca.
He was the Mecca
of the break there. Like, if you had amazing skills, crazy skills, Herc, Kool Herc and Coke local parties is where you came to display your skills.
Okay.
That's where you came to display your skill, because why? That's where the best was. And you can ask anybody back then, they won't dispute that if you had real skills and you really want to test yourself to see where you at, go to Herc. Because that's where the best breakdancers was. At Herc.
And that's the thing that I don't know if KRS-One understands. Kool Herc parties was the Mecca for B-Boys. The meeting, he has Crazy Legs there with Coke LaRock and Grand Wizard Theodore. And for casual hip-hop fans, that may seem like Crazy Legs was actually there at Kool Herc parties.
Even back in the early Kool Herc jams, you see Puerto Ricans from the neighborhood.
Having Crazy Legs there and not having Trixie and Sasa there, that make it seem like, you know, Crazy Legs was dancing with the original B-Boys at Kool Herc parties.
Yeah, but they came in the 80s.
In the 80s. Was it like that in the 70s?
No.
You know, I'm not sure if KRS-One is doing this deliberately or it's just one of those things that's just coming off wrong. Because if it's all about bringing nationalities together, if it's all about bringing the Puerto Rican pioneers together with the African American pioneers, things like this can actually take us a step back, because Crazy Legs was not there at Coke LaRock Kool Herc parties.
But they came in the 80s.
In the 80s. Was it like that in the 70s?
No.
It wasn't like that?
No.
We put it to you straight up. There wasn't no Puerto Ricans
Wasn't no Puerto Rican.
coming
Wow.
to the parties.
You a hater if you don't think Puerto Rico's been a part of hip-hop since the beginning. KRS-One know what's up. Let's talk some facts. See, a lot of people trying to downplay the Puerto Ricans' role in hip-hop. KRS-One just came out and set the record straight.
Hip-hop would not have existed without specifically Puerto Rican. Group of Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and American blacks.
Now imagine trying to argue with a legend like that. Imagine trying to argue with a legend like that. Even back in the early Kool Herc jams, you see Puerto Ricans from the neighborhood.
For me, I haven't seen, as long as I was dancing and breakdancing, I never had a Spanish brother come in that circle. A light-skinned Puerto Rican, come in my circle to battle me. As long as I danced, I ain't never had one of them come in my circle. Now, I'm not trying to bring them down, but it ain't 50-50.
Even back in the early Kool Herc jams, you see Puerto Ricans from the neighborhood.
You called yourself black at that time, a black man. You was a black, you was black. Okay, because it's new to me, because the shows I saw you, well, one in particular, you know the Spanish guy, and he represents you as a Puerto Rican. Like he says, Puerto Ricans was there because Dancing Doug was there. So I thought you was like Puerto Rican, like you recognized
I had
yourself.
Puerto Rican, my family, so that's why I said,
Right.
I told him the same thing. I said, I don't try to separate us from them because that's part of me. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
now,
right.
If you ask me, were Puerto Rican brothers in Kool Herc's party in the beginning? That's an easy question. They wasn't at that time.
They what?
It's an error.
They
They was
what?
not at that time. The Kool Herc party is the very beginning.
There was not.
Yeah, but that's mathematics.
I'm happy to be a part of something that's bigger than I am. Thank you.
You know what? Speaking of bigger than you all, and bigger than all of us, this moves me over to Legs.
What?
Because here we have a real representation of breaking, B.Boy, the go-off. Now, I want to start right here with Legs.
Yes.
So walk us through the Rock Steady crew.
I just want KRS-One to know, even though he may have genuine good intention, but he's causing confusion with just that meeting. It could actually cause more friction between the nationalities. Having Crazy Legs there and not having Trixie and Sasa there, it could cause more friction because, see, we still have not seen KRS-One highlight Trixie and Sasa and talk about what Trixie and Sasa brought to the game. To the casual hip-hoppers, they may not know it. It gives them the impression that Crazy Legs was actually there dancing that Kool Herc party. You know, like Crazy Legs, an original B.Boy, there with Kool Herc and Kool Herc. That'll give a false impression. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid this false impression. We're trying to avoid these hip-hop lies, these half-truths.
Hello. Okay.
Are you registered?
I have to register?
Yes, if you haven't registered, you can take that and go in.
Going where?
Put your name and information.
Okay. And here.
In the QR, take a
Right.
picture of the scan, a
Right.
QR code, and then it'll take you to registration.
Okay, and and then walk to Crotona. You gonna walk through? Are we walking back here or just?
No,
Crotona?
that's the end.
Is there gonna be a party here?
No, the party. Where's the party? In Jersey? In Jersey.
The party's in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
The typical hip hop. 55 Ludlow.
Right.
But the end is at Crotona, and that's at 2:00, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if you're gonna register, you get a water bottle, water, and a towel.
Okay.
That's why I was waiting.
Where's all the people? Are they coming?
Waiting.
What time we leaving? What time?
10 o'clock, I believe it says.
10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 10 o'clock, the march officially kicks off.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now until then is registration.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
50th March for Peace. Up now, hip-hop's 50th birthday. March for Peace.
Now, the first thing I want to say is it's great that, you know, KRS-One is talking about, you know, a walk for peace and a walk for conflict resolution and a walk for health. I think walking is something that we definitely should do more of. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's 10,000 steps a day or 15,000 steps a day, we should walk more. Especially as indigenous brown-skinned people, we should walk more. So for KRS-One to say, hey, we're going to have a walk for peace or a walk for health and a walk for conflict resolution, that's a great, noble idea. But the issue is this.
They would have been like, nah, you can't do that. They would have made y'all stop y'all whole shit.
The issue is the truth being hidden behind that noble idea? Meaning like this, is it the truth that 1600 management, 1600 Sedgwick and 1520 Sedgwick, from my understanding, one of those buildings management stops hip-hop events from going on in that park right there? And from my understanding, it's always been like that.
Just like when Herc gave the party right next door to him in the little courtyard place or the little playground there. That was the first place he came outside. And it was so many people, the police came and told him, shut it down because there's too many people.
You talking about right outside of between 1520 and 1600?
Yeah. And Herc was like, okay, and Herc kept playing. They came back, told him again. Herc kept playing. They took the equipment.
Really?
They took it. Took his
police.
equipment. right to the police.
And this is at the beginning, right?
Yeah, the very beginning. This is why when the police came and would be like...
And from my understanding, it's always been like that. This is the thing that it seemed like is being hidden from us, that it was never a hip-hop environment to begin with.
They would have been like, nah, you can't do that. They would have made y'all stop y'all whole shit.
So the question to KRS-One is, was he stopped from putting on a hip-hop event on Sedgwick Avenue, and then it just seems like he made the best of the situation and just decided, well, hey, we're going to do a march. Instead of a hip-hop event, we're going to march. If we can't do a hip-hop event on Sedgwick, we're going to march from Sedgwick to Crotona. You know what I'm saying? That's what seems like what happened. But, you know, we won't know until KRS-One address these things, address the politics of Sedgwick Avenue. From my understanding, the tenant management, either in 1600 or 1520, stopped the Hip-Hop 51 from going on. And see, that's the thing. If that's the truth, then just let that be known. Why would we walk away from 1520 Hip-Hop Boulevard? You know what I'm saying? To put on a hip-hop event. Why would we put on a hip-hop event in New Jersey? If we celebrating Bronx history, why would we put on a hip-hop event in New Jersey? And they walk to Crotona Park. I heard KRS-One says we're gonna reproduce the cultural migration of hip-hop.
And what we're doing, I want to make sure you're clear with this, is that we are reproducing the cultural migration of hip-hop. I'll say it again. We're reproducing the cultural migration of hip-hop, meaning we started in 1520 with this dude right here, Kool Herc.
Did you and Kool Herc ever play in Crotona Park?
I never played in Crotona. We played in Arthur Park.
Back in the 1970s, you and Kool Herc never played in Crotona Park?
No.
I heard KRS-One says we're gonna reproduce or replicate the cultural migration of hip-hop. The problem with that is, what does Crotona Park got to do with that? What does Crotona Park have to do with the cultural migration of hip-hop? Meaning, if Kool Herc started on Sedgwick Avenue and Cedar Park, if he started there, he didn't go to Crotona Park. You know, he went to Jerome Avenue, the nightclubs on Jerome Avenue. He played a lot in nightclubs.
We was at the Hevelo. We was at the recreation room, into the park, into the into the Twilight Zone first.
Twilight Zone,
Hevelo, Executive Playhouse, Parkside Plaza, we got real fly. That's where we was at.
When the clubs was here, you had to have shoes and you had to, you know, be older to get in. Everybody know we created that, coming in clubs with the sneakers and all ages. I wore Pumas. People keep saying Adidas, man.
If Kool Herc started on Sedgwick Avenue and Cedar Park, if he started there, he didn't go to Crotona Park. You know, he went to Jerome Avenue, the nightclubs on Jerome Avenue. He played a lot in nightclubs. And as far as the cultural migration, from my understanding, what KRS-One teaches and Bambaataa started to emerge. So if Africa Bambaataa started to emerge, that's the Soundview area. That's BronxRiver Houses. That's Junior High School 123.
It was a privilege for people to see Bambaataa 23 on a Friday night. The boys were come running.
So what does that got to do with Crotona Park?
This is where we get our core 4 elements from. Starts with Kool Herc. Now, those 4 elements, breaking, MCing, graffiti art, DJing. Breaking, MCing, graffiti art, DJing. These 4 elements, Africa Bambaataa would pick them up. Boom. And say these elements now are going to be backed up by 4 other elements: peace, love, unity, and having fun. This was documented in 1981 when Africa Bambaataa did a record with James Brown.
Okay, Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation is in the Soundview area.
Bambaataa 23 on
So if you was going to reproduce or replicate the cultural migration, then shouldn't you have came from Sedgwick and marched to our side in Soundview? Shouldn't you came to BronxRiver Houses and Bronxdale Houses? Because this is basically where Zulu Nation started, in the Soundview area.
Bambaataa 23 on
And many of the Shaka Zulus, the younger Shaka Zulus, many of them was from Bronxdale. So if you was going to do the cultural migration, shouldn't you start on Sedgwick and come to Bronxdale? Come to Disco King Mario Way? You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't you come and meet up with Sinbad?
Oh, I wasn't a Zulu.
You wasn't a Zulu?
No, I wasn't a Zulu.
Well, so what was your place with him, though? I'm saying.
I was like his partner.
Oh, you was his partner?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Did he have the Soul Sonic Force at that time?
No, I think that came after me. That came after the thing. That came after.
So Sonic Force came
after?
after?
Yeah, it came after.
Sinbad said he was Africa Bambaataa's partner before Bambaataa blew up with the Zulu Nation, before the Soul Sonic Force. It was Sinbad. If you was going to do the cultural migration, shouldn't you start on Sedgwick and come to Bronxdale, come to Disco King Mario Way?
It was a privilege for people to see Bambaataa 23.
If Bambaataa emerged after Kool Herc, what does that have to do with Crotona Park? Africa Bambaataa starts Sinbad and Mario in Junior High School 123, BronxRiver Houses. That's 10472. That's the Soundview area.
Remember, there wasn't a lot of clubs. There was the Evilo, Twilight Zone, that's it. That's on the west side. There really weren't any clubs here. But Mario was able to get to school, 123. So when you hear them old tapes, 123 the place to be, that's one of the early venues of hip-hop, man, or what it came to be known as hip-hop. Right. And Mario was responsible for that. And he gave a lot of cats their start. Busy B. Starsky. Right. He gave Kool D a venue to play, even though Kool D was playing in the club. But Kool D would play hip-hop for us. Bambaataa, not just BronxRiver, but coming over here this side of 123. Bambaataa, not just BronxRiver, but coming over here this side of 123.
So if you was going to have a cultural migration, then shouldn't you walk from Sedgwick Avenue, shouldn't you walk to our side, Disco King Mario Way, and put it on with us and join hands and let's join hands with us and unify with us?
50 more years of hip-hop.
Come on, man. Come on, yo. Shouldn't you be unifying with us if it's all about a cultural migration? From my understanding, according to KRS-One, it went from Kool Herc to Africa Bambaataa to Grandmaster Flash. So if it went from Kool Herc to Africa Bambaataa, that's the Soundview area. So Young Blackjack was correct when he said what he said.
What I don't understand, why y'all don't just march the Mario way?
So Young Blackjack was correct. They should have marched to our side and put it on with us.
Africa Bambaataa laid that down. 1974. So now keep the timeline going. 73, Kool Herc. 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx. August 11th, 1973. He introduces hip-hop to the world. Africa Bambaataa, 1974, comes back from Africa and says, dead these gangs, hip-hop is a culture. It's about peace, love, unity, and having fun. And everyone in New York agreed.
And I didn't have to worry about packing it up because all the street gangs was all part of my family. So once the word was out, all the gangs came. And from then on, the birth of hip-hop was born in the Southeast Bronx. From then on, the birth of hip-hop was born in the Southeast Bronx.
1, 2, 3, 4, get it! 1, 2, 3, 4, get it!
You can hear the music for blocks away. People be coming off the train stations. They be coming from buses. Others will come in cars, taxis, and mopeds. It was wild and exciting. When they heard the beat coming on and the crowd started screaming and the girls started getting down, the brothers started getting wild, it was live and funky.
You know who would really know Africa Bambaataa? He's the guy who organized it, or he would know.
In my area, we had the 10th Division Young Spades. I joined on the elder area of the South Bronx on the other side of Bronx there, the 1st Division, 1st Chapter, under the leadership of Kool D,
It started here in Bronxdale.
Right.
We was the Mecca, like my man DJ Faye said.
Right.
Everybody came through here. You know, this is the headquarters of the Spades and the headquarters of hip-hop. That's how we did it. We took it from here, then we took it to Soundview, we took it to Monroe, we took it to BronxRiver. The power of hip-hop came from here. That's where it came from.
So Bronxdale was the Mecca?
Bronxdale was the Mecca. That's it. Can't say no more.
You know who would really know Africa Bambaataa? He's the guy who organized it, or he would know. But of course, he is excommunicated. And if the allegations are true, then rightfully so. But he's the guy to clear all of this up, because whatever he says would be what it is. He would know definitively.
Something to the people.
We're at the home of God, where hip-hop, the culture, had its roots here, BronxRiver, the mighty Brownsdale Monroe Project, where hip-hop, the culture, had its roots here, BronxRiver, the mighty Brownsdale Monroe Project, Castle Hill, all that over there. The true school, Universal Zulu Nation.
See, I just went bananas and all. That's hip-hop.
So let me bring you back, right? Because you said
that ain't one of March.
Right, they marching. They marching.
They want to march. Good.
Now they marching on Sedgwick, right?
Oh, okay.
Supposed to be a thing. Now let me say this, right? My whole thing with that is, why are they marching away from Sedgwick Avenue? If Sedgwick Avenue, the politicians came through and they named Sedgwick Avenue Hip Hop Boulevard. So where are the hip hop events on Hip Hop Boulevard? Like, aren't you supposed to put hip hop events on Hip Hop Boulevard? But they marching in reverse. They going away from Sedgwick. They going to Crotona Park.
Yes,
and I guess they're gonna have an event at Crotona Park. Did you and Kool Herc ever play in Crotona Park?
I never played in Crotona. We played in Arthur Park.
So I'm thinking about going because I want to see why they're not having a hip hop event on Hip Hop Boulevard.
Mike, excuse me for cutting in. What I don't understand, why y'all don't just march the Mario way? He gotta, y'all gave y'all. Listen,
because
y'all
they
gave
say
listen, we didn't do that.
Right.
Hip hop did that, right?
Right.
Gave Mario away.
Right.
That's like if we marching your way, we coming to hip hop. We coming to Sedgwick. That's a fact.
That would have been cool if they would have came the Mario way.
That's what you're supposed to do.
We walk across the Bronx and we arrive at Crotona Park. Crotona Park been having hip hop jams since it was illegal to do it in Crotona Park.
But they were on the Crotona Park. I never heard no pioneers.
On Crotona Park.
What pioneers? What pioneers playing in Crotona Park?
The old timers day.
Now let's say, but
if
look,
you don't march on the old timers day, you won't see nobody.
But look, Crotona Park has become the one of the main spots that they have events at.
No, I know. But
over the years, lately,
but if
right in the millennium, right?
So if they
Crotona
don't march
Park,
over there when we having those events, right? That would be the time. Think about it.
Right.
You want to get prestige, you want to get coverage, you want to get support. You come where the support will support you, even if they your out. We ain't hurting nobody. We ain't shooting and killing nobody. We just talking on this.
Right.
So, yo, listen, we're going to march from Sedgwick. We're going to Mario's Way. From Mario's Way, we'll stop over here to Soundview. And from Soundview, we'll hit it back. That's where hip-hop was at, too. Let's go.
Right.
That's it.
Who was in Crotona Park? What pioneers was in Crotona Park? Even Sedgwick Avenue, when Charlie Rock and them talk about they was going to Kool Herc parties, they was talking about Jerome Avenue. They was talking about the Hivalo and all that in Jerome Avenue. Charlie Rock and them, from my understanding, he was not going to 1520 Sedgwick.
Wait a minute, Charlie Rock, first of all, Charlie Rock and FaZe, y'all need to stop. Just stop.
Right, Charlie Rock and FaZe, right.
I'm not going to get into it. Just stop. Anyway, back to Sedgwick. So why they don't march from Sedgwick back here?
Right.
Tell me that.
Right. You know what I think it is? Listen, what it is because, you know, me and FaZe went over there.
Y'all went over there?
And we was behind the building, Sedgwick Avenue, checking it out. And the main reason why we was there, because KRS-One was saying hip-hop came from poverty.
Hip-hop begins in immense poverty. And remember this, hip-hop begins small, very small, amongst very, very poor people.
Hip-hop came from immense poverty. We went over there, we was like, yo, this ain't poverty.
Yeah.
So we walking through, we came from underneath the building, they got like a parking lot. We came from the parking lot, walking through Sedgwick Avenue. The tenants started talking. They said, yo, this store been here forever. I guess it's their corner store bodega. Yeah?
This been here forever.
Yeah? Yeah, we went back there. Yeah. So they started talking about the store, because they saw us with the camera, I guess. So I guess that's normal for them to see people taking pictures and stuff. So they started talking to us. He said, yo, this store been here forever. So we was like, word, we stopped and we started talking to the people, the tenants that's on the block. So they went in about how they didn't like their management.
The management? Yeah, the new management, they whack. The new management is whack.
Management just want publicity. This is bullshit.
Yeah. The new management is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they.
Well, y'all always able to have.
So they went in about how they didn't like their management, that their management, you know, stop them. They can't, you know, they was telling us, like, if the management see y'all doing this, they would stop y'all from doing the camera or whatever.
I would have loved to seen that.
If you be here 4 o'clock early, they would tell you cannot. They stop you.
Stop us from what? Talking out here?
They tell you, but you can do what the hell you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they teach you on this shit.
telling us, like, if the management see y'all doing this, they would stop y'all from doing the camera or whatever. So it leads me to think that, you know what I'm saying, 1520 management was never a hip-hop environment to begin with.
Right with that.
Right. They was never about hip-hop to begin with.
They would have went right with that.
Right.
And listen, I remember somebody's talking about the east side of the Bronx, right? Listen, when I was on Sedgwick Avenue, right,